I just discovered the summer book that follows along two best friends who see each other every single summer at the beach cottage house, and they grow up together and they fall in love. You're about to watch me read Carly Fortune's Every Summer After, where I update you periodically with my thoughts as I'm reading the book. I'm pretty excited to read this book. I think I have in the middle expectations for this book because I do know that it is one of Carly Fortune's earlier works, and her newer works, in my opinion, are much better. However, I do still expect it to be entertaining. I expect it to be summer vibes. I expect it to be beach vibes. I expect it to be like a swoon-worthy friends to lovers romance, and I'm pretty excited for it. I think that the cover is just like a vibe in general. I love her cover so much. So from my understanding, Every Summer After follows our two main characters, Sam and Percy. And so they were like best of best friends, spent every summer together, had a great time, always all that good stuff. But then I think that they got romantically involved, or maybe they accidentally kissed each other or something at one point, and Percy's like, and kind of ran away. And so she ran away to Toronto and has ignored her best friend ever since. And so she gets a call that someone has passed away. And so she ends up going back to where Sam is and like all of that, and is basically trying to fight against her connection to him. So for whatever reason, she doesn't want to be with him, but she also does want to be with him, or it's the other way around. Maybe he wants to be with her or he doesn't, I don't know. But there's something like that that's kind of going on within the story. And so it kind of follows the 6 years from when they were best of best friends to the present day weekend, and how like love and people kind of mark you forever. It does kind of sound like People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and I didn't really like that book, so I'm hoping that this is like a better version of that. But without further ado, let's read Every Summer After. I'm more than 100 pages into Every Summer After, and here are my thoughts so far. I'm really loving the vibes of this, especially the like childhood best friends to lovers kind of vibe. I think that Carly Fortune is doing a really great job of just making this friendship so realistic, so full of tension and chemistry, and then as well because they were like friends when they were very young, and how they're starting to age and then starting to notice like, I'm kind of interested. And it's like, but she doesn't really understand what's happening. And so like, if Sam, her best friend, will like poke her or touch her now, suddenly she feels a lot different than she did when they were kids. And so that's pretty interesting to just kind of follow along. I think it's done in a really great way. And so it follows their entire friendship as one of the storylines, and then present day for the other storyline. And the summer vibes of this book, so summery. I've never been to Barry's Bay, but I actually could probably get my way around there. Yeah, and it just seems like this cool, quiet little cottage country in the middle of like nowhere, to be honest. And it's a vibe. It seems like a vibe. Our main character, Percy, she goes up there every single summer, and Sam and his brother Charlie are the neighbors. And so they live there. And so she only comes up for the summertime, and so they keep in touch when she's not around there. And it seems like both of the boys are kind of interested in her. Sam definitely more so, and then Charlie, I can't tell if he's doing it just to annoy his brother or not, but he does a few things where it's just like, does he like her? But like, it feels like he's just like trying to annoy his brother is kind of the vibes I get from that. But when it comes to Percy and Sam's characters, I really like them. I think that Percy's really interesting because we learn about her from when she's a really young kid. She has a falling out with her best friends. She tries to get bangs, like it's a whole thing. And then like she's super into horror movies, and she gets Sam kind of roped in on it and all of this stuff. And Sam is just like that golden retriever kind of boy. And so I always love the golden retriever kind of boys. And so just like following these two characters along as they're growing up together, not really having feelings at when they are first friends, but slowly developing the feelings, I think is done really well. And the writing is really great. So I'm really enjoying this book, and I'm loving all the vibes of it. I think there's some really interesting characters as well, like Delilah, who is Percy's best friend. And It's interesting because at first I didn't really like her. I was like, oh, she's a pick-me girl. But then when Delilah realized, before Percy realized that Percy likes Sam, Delilah instantly backs off and is like, I got you. Like, I'm not gonna do anything with that guy. So I thought that was a really good move on her friend's part. Her friend is like a little bit boy crazy, but I mean, I guess that's the norm. Like, the characters are about 15 right now in the past kind of part of the story. And then in the present day story, Percy has gone back for the first time in like 12 years because Sam and Charlie's mother passed away, and so she gets contacted and ends up going there because they were like pretty close for a really long time. And then of course she sees Sam and everything seems to be like pretty good. Like, they seem to be back into their conversational groove. And then the only kind of caveat is that Sam is in a relationship now, and so that adds a bit of tension, obviously, because like Percy likes him and he likes her, but he's kind of moved on. And so interested to see like where that's going to go and how it's going to be handled. So I will continue to read every summer after, and I will update you around the halfway point, so I will see you then. I'm now more than 100 pages into every summer after, and I am liking this book way more than I thought I would. Honestly, and I don't say this lightly, I forgot that I wasn't reading an Emily Henry book. I thought this was an Emily Henry book while I was reading it, and then I was like, wait a second, no it's not. And I don't know if it's because like Emily Henry kind of left a review on it or what, but the vibes, this one is so good. It really is similar to her newest one, which is, what's the name of that one? Summer Will Be Different, in terms of like the writing style, the characters, the dialogue, the chemistry, and just how beautiful everything is just done. It's so well done. I'm really happy like about like how this is going. I definitely think that I guess I kind of had a bad start with Meet Me at the Lake because I would say it's probably not her best work, but this one's really good, and Every Summer After was really good. And I mean, Meet Me at the Lake, don't get me wrong, it's still good, but like this one and Every Summer, and I'm gonna mix up with all the summer names. This one and This Summer Will Be Different are just really, really good. I'm also really loving the chapters in this book. I am surprised because I am a short chapter kind of girl, and these chapters are actually pretty long, but like I don't even really realize it until I like step back and go, oh yeah, there's multiple chapters in this book, I guess. Because sometimes it just feels like it's just like the whole story, no chapters, but there are chapters if you understand what I'm trying to explain. But it's really good because in the past chapters, you get that entire year, and she's only there for the summer, so you get to spend that time with Percy and with Sam, and sometimes Charlie, as they're kind of just growing up together. And then you also get kind of updates of what her life has been like in her like real world when she's not at the cottage with Sam. And so I think that that's really interesting as well. Just follow them along, have those conversations, have that friendship, and it's just like, it's so fun to watch it. I really love it. And then with Charlie, I'm pretty sure he's just instigating and he's just trying to push his brother's buttons because I don't think he actually likes Percy. I thought maybe like earlier on that maybe both of the brothers liked her, but I don't think that's the case. He just seems to like annoying his brother, so that's good, because I was like, oh, I don't want the two brothers going after her kind of vibes because that gets really annoying and like overdone, but this is done well. So yeah, as you can tell, definitely enjoying this book. I feel like I'm just hanging out at the cottage, hanging out on the beach, going for a swim. I feel like I can taste the salt of like the sea and like the weird creepy seaweed that always like tickles your feet and like it's really, really fun, and it's so well written. I'm really having a great time with this. So I'm going to continue to read Every Summer After. I'm excited to see where it goes now that we're starting to get a bit of the spicy stuff going on, which her spicy scenes were real good in this book as well. We've had 2 spicy scenes so far. The one with when they're teenagers, I always feel a little icky reading that because it's like teenagers, but for the adult spicy scene, good stuff. So I will continue to read the book. I'm excited to see where it's going to go. Hoping for that happy ending, of course. If there's not a happy ending, I'd be devastated, and I don't expect there to not be a happy ending, but there's still always that risk. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to read it every summer after, and I will update you when I finish the book, so I will see you then. Last night, I finished Every Summer After by Carly Fortune, and this was the summer vibes. This was all vibes, so good. Carly Fortune absolutely nailed it with this childhood best friends to lovers romance. It was really, really good. The reason that they didn't talk, thankfully, was not just like a miscommunication thing. Like, it sort of was, but also like not in like the annoying way, if you get what I mean. But I also really don't like what happened for that. That's the only part of the book that I think I didn't enjoy, and it bugged me so much. Like, I think that there could have been a different route that Carly Fortune could have taken for some kind of tension, some kind of drama to happen, and not go the route that it did, because it just was like really awkward and weird and kind of gross. What happened in the book though, like, I don't agree with the character's decision like at all, but I do know somebody who was in a very similar situation, and she had pretty bad anxiety, like all that kind of stuff, and she made a similar decision as the character in this book and felt horrible about it after. But in our main character's defense, she thought that things were like, you know, and that's the way she saw it. But obviously it was still a bad decision anyways, and I don't condone that kind of behavior or anything like that, but I do kind of understand where the character's coming from, because I knew somebody in a similar situation who had deep regrets as well. But other than that, everything else I loved about this book. I think that every character was really well done. I think that the writing was absolutely beautiful. The setting was perfect. It was summery, it was vibes. It was really just everything. Like, this is probably one of my favorite books that I've read in the summertime that actually is summertime vibes. Something that I've been thinking about is that what happened like towards the end and like the big drama, one, it didn't need to happen. I already stated that. But two, it just felt like really random, and it was like a really bad ending for that character at least, and then like it was a fine ending for other characters. But imagine like being in that situation and then being stuck forever, and just like, I don't know. It's hard to explain what happened without like spoiling it, but if you read the book, you'll know like what I mean towards the ending, and that other character who doesn't get the ending that they wanted, and like, I wonder how they feel about that. They probably feel pretty crummy. So I will be awarding Every Summer After a total of 4.5 stars. I wanted to give it 5 stars, but like everything was perfect up until the big drama point. And I was just like, I didn't like that. And I know a lot of people felt the same way as well. Like, this book could have been so perfect if it was just like a different kind of drama that happened that damaged the friendship. But yeah, it was still really good though, despite it all. Like, I really liked it. Yeah, it was perfect for the summer. I think if I was to never ever find another good summer read, I'd probably pick that up again next year, just to get to the vibes. And I want to go to Barry's Bay, and I bet it's been really romanticized in this book, and it makes it sound like this really beautiful, amazing, cool place. And it's also just really cool because this is Carly Fortune's first book, and her first book is really, really good. Her third book is really, really good, and her second book is okay. But we see that with authors all the time. Like, they can release one really amazing book, but it's hard to kind of match that same level, and then they start to pick it up again, and it's like, yeah, that's what book 3 was all about. So yeah, I'm really excited to read more of Carly Fortune's work. I've read it all now, and I think she releases a book about every year or so, so I will be looking forward to whenever her next book is, because this was a vibe. The next book that I'll be reading is Shadows of Fury by Brenda K. Davies. This is the 4th book in the Shadow Realm series that I'm reading. I'm really excited about this book. The story's been getting better and better. It's just such a great romantic-y story. And yeah, so that's what I'll be reading next. So if you're interested in watching me read Shadows of Fury, Brandon Sanderson, Emily Henry, Ellie Hazelwood, more authors. You've kind of seen the kind of stuff that I enjoy. I love romance books, I love fantasy books. So if you're into that as well and you haven't already, definitely hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification. That way you get notified anytime a new video comes out. If you enjoyed this video, definitely hit the like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!